5 days in jail. 5 days in jail that you go to as a minimum to any sentence you get. All right, good morning, everybody online. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Come on up.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
What do you need, counsel?
Judge, I have an occupational license scheduled for Thursday. I just wanted to make sure the client needed to be here or whether.
I don't think so. You know, I just don't think so. Yeah, if you got all your documents in the row. Ramona, do we need the defendant here for an occupational?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, sorry, I'm wrong. Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Oops. Hey, Zoe, you want some candy? Oh, you got some? If you run out, let me know. I've got a lot more for you.
Yes.
Okay, Max, who do you have here?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Vic, you ready? Okay, this is page 20.
On page 25.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The officer initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant's vehicle traveling 94 miles per hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. The officer observed an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant admitted to the officer that she had 2 drinks. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turns 5 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and breath was refused. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Felt like that went really fast. So the stop was for speeding.
For speeding, yes.
Then
And then after that, they had an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and she made an admission that she drank two beverages.
just an odor and admission of 2 beers. Any other indication of intoxication? I mean, slurred speech, bloodshot eyes.
I know that while the SFSTs were, this is for the dams, while the SFSTs were being conducted, she was not understanding, like the officer had to explain, I think at least 4 times, the instructions for the walk and turn, the 1-leg stand. He also noticed that I think she took off her boots for the 1-leg stand. She was stumbling when she was taking them off. So there were other signs that the officer.
That's what I want. I mean, just an odor, not even a strong odor at that, you know? And then you just have an admission of 2 beers. You don't know what time. Was it over a 12-hour span? You know, there's no accident here. There's no, is she a Spanish speaker?
I believe so, Your Honor.
I don't see any indication of that.
And if I may, I've been doing DWIs for 10 years and I don't understand the instructions most of the time.
As far as I can tell, the officer also just demonstrated it to her, I mean, which is per, you know.
But
The procedure for
right, I
SFSTs,
get the
but-
SFSTs, but I mean, to even get to the SFSTs, right? You have to show something that there's some indicia of intoxication. Here, all we have is an odor and admission of 2 beers. That's not enough. An odor of alcohol in and of itself is insufficient.
It seems that this stop occurred at 2 a.m. and she made a statement that she stopped drinking at 12 a.m. So we have a 2-hour period between when she's finished drinking and then
Alcohol dissipates every 1 hour. An alcoholic drink dissipates from your system.
she still had the odor in addition to that statement.
All right, I'm gonna find no probable cause.
Yes, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
Ma'am, be careful, you know, really. Every single day, someone dies from a DWI in our county. It's so easy to take a $20 Uber, literally push one button, you have a car waiting for you wherever you want to go in this county. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right, please take a seat.
Your Honor.
Hey, good morning, counsel.
How are you?
What's new? What's new?
You know, just,
Given arraignment?
we've got an arraignment, yes, sir.
If you call your client up.
Yes, sir. Noah Montgomery.
Page 19.
Okay,
I will try to curse
you were Noah Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On October 27, 2024, the officer dispatched to a residence in reference to a criminal mischief in Harris County, Texas. After the initial investigation, the officer had found the defendant had left the residence, walked several streets over, and vandalized the complainant's motor vehicle. The defendant damaged the driver's side mirror by using hands to pull on and break the mirror in several places. The defendant used a knife to strike the windshield in a stabbing motion, causing damage. The damage was approximately $1,000. The complainant's daughter showed the officer a text where the defendant admitted he damaged the motor vehicle and planned on damaging the motor vehicle again in the future. The defendant was found at his residence and a bent kitchen knife was located next to him on the ground.
Mr. Montgomery, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So what was the relationship, Alex?
Relationship, they are neighbors, Your Honor.
Just neighbors?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we have any kind of allegation of alcohol or any kind of dope usage?
No, Your Honor.
Never? Okay.
No allegation. Pass.
Mr. Montgomery, like I said, I'm going to find probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go within 200 feet of where this person lives or where this person works, not to be in possession of weapons and not to have any contact with them. Do you understand? If I find that you violate this condition, I will put you in jail in a moment's notice. I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. Do you understand? How old are you, sir?
It's further into, Judge, I'm inquiring about the location of his residence, just to make sure it's not within the 200 feet. Is it more than that?
Less.
It's less than 200
Yeah,
feet?
she live a street over.
If it's a street over, you're probably gonna be okay, I would think.
How old are you?
17, Judge.
What do you do in life?
In school?
Where do you go to school?
Yeah, like,
High school? I'm going to send you for a drug test right now. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you have any kind of dope in your system, it stops today. Do you understand?
yes.
If I find that you're smoking any kind of marijuana, using any kind of illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. Do you understand? It is now also a bond condition that you stay in school and that you also graduate. If I find that you're ducking out of school and you're not going, you'll be doing homeschooling with me in custody. You're going to graduate, you're going to get your high school diploma one way or the other. And if it's that you got to stay with me to get it done, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand? Okay. So counsel,
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to send him for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in his system, and then we'll have him come back. And then, do you have anywhere else to go?
Not clear this morning, Judge.
So let's do this. Leave me your cell phone.
Yes.
I will text you. You can always zoom in, that we can just go. And then I just want to know what's in his system. Zoom, I'll text you, zoom back on, and we can finish it up.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Stephen, do you need a pen? Okay, thanks. Take a seat for me in the jury box, sir. So I am, and so don't worry about filing conditions. I'm gonna have it monitored so that he's not using. Is it Catarina Herrera? Ms. Herrera, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge. On October 28th, 2024, the officer was dispatched in reference to a possible intoxicated driver in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's vehicle failed to maintain a single lane, veer from one marked lane to another, nearly striking another vehicle, and the defendant's vehicle to be unnecessarily braking and then accelerating. The officer also observed the defendant's vehicle failed to signal a lane change in the left turn and failed to stop at the designated stopping line. The traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated she was returning home from the bar and admitted to consuming 2 mixed beverages of whiskey and Red Bull. The defendant urinated on her person and standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were 0.124 and 0.118.
Ms. Herrera, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? You speak English, right?
Yes, I just.
You're not allowed to drive. I'm going to have you sign a document with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care where you got to go, what you need to do. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, do not drive. Do you understand?
I understand.
I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, man. How old are you, ma'am?
31.
What do you do for a living? You're a bartender.
That's why
I don't want to talk about the case. I only want to know, or if you're able to hire a lawyer, man. Okay, we'll give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm gonna have you go to up here to sign our document that you're not gonna drive at all. We're gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions. After that, you'll be free to go. There's a lot of timing requirements, so don't wait a month or two to get your attorney. It's only gonna end up hurting you. All right, ma'am?
All right, Judge, the next one is page 25, Shaw, come on up.
Already on S? Are they
I
not?
have two Spanish ones. I'm waiting on.
Okay. Do we have a lot of THAs? Lori, you got my text? Mireles?
Yes, I don't have any way to get in contact with you.
I figured so. Okay, Shaw, that's
25,
right.
Yes.
Shaw.
You are Keon Shaw.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shaw, you're charged with fleeing a police officer. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 27th, 2024, officer was conducting a routine patrol on Eldridge Parkway when he noticed the defendant's motor vehicle traveling at an unsafe speed, exceeding the posted 35-mile-per-hour zone. The vehicle then began driving in a suspicious manner by making a sudden left turn on the street and immediately parking on the left side of the road. When the vehicle noticed the officer's fully marked patrol vehicle passing, it immediately conducted a U-turn and got back on the main road. When officer continued to follow the defendant's vehicle, the vehicle again conducted a left turn and pulled into an alleyway. When the officer initiated his emergency equipment in an attempt to conduct a traffic stop, the defendant's motor vehicle passed multiple safe stopping points before finally coming to a stop after traveling 0.5 miles through a dark and empty parking lot.
What was he doing wrong?
According to the officer, he was originally traveling at an unsafe speed exceeding the speed limit, 35 miles. He was exceeding that speed limit.
By how much?
Let me see the DMs if he specified. Your Honor, he did not specify. It was just an unsafe speed exceeding the limit. And then
Nothing's unsafe to me.
he began driving, according to the officer, in a suspicious manner, making sudden turns and then stopping on the side of the road and then getting back on the road once the officer passed. So
Anything illegal with that? You
Your
know,
Honor, I believe it would just be the speed limit would be the point at which the officer.
it's a conclusory statement. We need to have like a workshop on how to write ORs, man, for real. You know, everything in this office report is conclusory, suspicious, aloysius, you know, is he driving while black?
Judge, would you allow us just a few minutes to call the officer just to see? We don't have an OR. We're just going off of the.
Sure,
DMs.
let's do this. I'm gonna have them, because I want to make sure if we find probable cause that it's really there. All right, so just hang tight for me. We're gonna have to do a little deeper dive. If you just mind taking a seat for me momentarily, okay? Okay. Don't leave, Mr. Shaw. Good morning, Mr. Daly.
How are you?
Do you have a lawyer today?
No,
Tell me what you're doing about that. What are you doing about that?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Have you spoken to anyone?
And for one,
How do you know you haven't even spoken to anyone? Huh?
I don't know.
You just keep saying, I don't know. Do you have a job?
No.
How do you get money?
I was about to get hired on with a job last Monday. Got it turned down due to driver license, so I'm going to go face another judge later on to see about getting community service so I can get that taken care of to get a job.
There are plenty of jobs that you can have that you don't need a license though.
Applying.
How are you getting money to eat? How do you eat? So is it your girlfriend or is it your wife? No, it's not the same thing. It's not this, they're two totally different things. How long has your wife / girlfriend been supporting you? When is the last time you've had a full-time job? How, you don't have a license.
I said before I did, it just happened. This just happened for my license.
Can you pull up his driving record, Alex, please?
Yes, Judge.
This just happened for my license.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
Full-time job. July.
Doing what?
Truck driver.
Did you have a CDL?
Yes.
How did you lose your CDL?
So it seems we have a denied renewal from October 23rd, and then that was the most recent one, and then that's all we have as far as anything on his license.
Do you see a suspension?
I do see a suspension back in March of 2011, but nothing more recent.
So it's still showing ineligible, though, right?
It's ineligible as of now, Your Honor.
Does it give you a reason as to why it's ineligible?
All we have is just a denied renewal, and then it says failure to appear. That's the last action.
Are
we
you
have.
able to see if there are any outstanding tickets that are open at this point?
I am unable to see that, Your Honor.
were a truck driver in July. We are now in November. So have you been jobless since November?
November. Yes, since November, you said,
You said you had a full-time job in July.
right,
Okay, you stopped working in July.
right.
Okay. Have you had a full-time job since July? So you have been bumming off your wife?
I was door dashing.
You lost your license. You're unable to DoorDash at all.
Just lost my license.
When did it get suspended?
Your Honor, it says, besides that 2011, it says it was suspension in October 23rd of 2024 was the date.
This is what I want you to do. Where's my stickies? There we go. Stephen, would you mind giving this to me? This is the number to the DPS driver's license division. This is the number that you need to call to figure out what you need to do to get your license back. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's up.
Okay.
I
Are
want
they
my
open
license.
tickets now?
Yes,
Okay, what are you planning? You need to hire a lawyer to fix them. Don't just go over there and just, when you just, look, I can't give you legal advice, but just the more tickets you incur on your record, the more suspensions you're going to get. And if you're a truck driver by trade, all you're doing is hosing yourself. I'm not going to let you sit here and just be jobless, bumming, and being a leech on society, especially if we are supposed to give you a lawyer. Because if I'm giving you a lawyer, that means I'm paying for it. Steven's paying for it. Victoria's paying for your lawyer. It's not going to happen. So you can either hire your own lawyer, or if you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, great. But I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I'm making it a condition of your bond that you get a full-time job. And I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to get a full-time job. If you've sat here and say, oh, well, I've got an application here, I got an application here, I got an application here, with nothing to show me, life will not go well.
like I said, I had a job supposed to start Monday.
Beggars can't be choosers. It's better to work at Burger King, at Chuck E. Cheese, than sit on your tuchus with do nothing, earning nothing, and leeching off other people and society in general. Do you understand? Beggars can't be choosers. Lower your standards.
I have.
Okay, then you've not gone low enough. If you need to go to Amazon, if you need to go to Starbucks, do it. I will give you an application, but I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to get a job. There are plenty of jobs out there that will immediately give you a job. Do you understand? Okay, I'll see you back in 2 weeks. Stephen, do you mind giving me an application? No, fill it out now. Why delay the inevitable? But I'll bring it back in 2 weeks to see what you've done to get a job.
All right, Judge, next is.
No, hold on. We've got a bunch of lawyers. Let's help them first. Oh, okay. Can you file Alex on this gentleman? Get a job, please, and no weapons and no driving on Mr. Daly. Vic, who's this?
This is Dolphus on page 8.
Got it. Is it Jose Adolphus? Good morning, Mr. Adolphus. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. That makes it a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
Yes, Judge. On July 6, 2024, the officers met with the complainant, the defendant's wife, who said the defendant was visiting her child at her apartment when the defendant told her he wanted to be with her. The complainant said she did not reciprocate the sentiment, and he told her that he should have killed her when he first got out in March because the complainant sent him to jail. The defendant also said he will kill the complainant if she calls the police on him again. The complainant was scared for her life and asked for a protective order.
Did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Yes, Judge. So I just want to make it known to the court that, yes, the defendant just was released from TDC for an assault against the same complaining witness. He was released in March. In July, he picked up this charge. I've also been in contact with the Family Violence Division at HPD because the complainant told me that she made a walk-in report on September 25th alleging that the defendant, she's currently pregnant, and alleging that the defendant has assaulted her again and that he threatened to kill her again because she went to the police. Those charges have not yet been filed, but I confirmed the existence of the incident report. Like I said, I've been in contact with the detective in this case.
You realize that you're near to being a true habitual. When you go to TDC, if you pick up a new case, you're a 15 to life case, a minimum of 15 years, Mr. Dolphus. Do you understand that?
Can I speak?
Don't. No, I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything that you say, they're gonna use it against you.
That's perfectly fine. I was nowhere near it.
Stop. Well, I'm gonna make that now. And I'm gonna memorialize that with an ankle monitor, so I know that you're not there or I'm forbidding you from going within 1,000 feet of where she lives or where she works. If that thing dings, the battery goes dead. It's not gonna go well. Do you understand, Mr.
Atlanta,
Dolphus?
sir. I'm back and forth between Houston and Atlanta. I have documentation showing that I was in Atlanta when all of this was concurred. I moved on, and that's her problem.
What happened with that charge? Is it gonna get through? I
So she
mean,
says that the incident occurred on the 24th. She made a walk-in report on the 25th. Like I said, I called HPD on Friday and they told me that the report's made. They gave me like an incident number.
pregnant with whose child?
I believe the defendant's child. She told me that he's
How
aware.
far along?
I think right now she's 6 months. I don't remember exactly how far along she told me, but like I said, the officers made the report. They have photos of her from the 25th or from the incident on the 24th. I can confirm that with her. I just spoke with her on Friday.
So, Mr. Dolphus, understand that there's a protective order that's been issued in this case. I would get to know it, because if you violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. If they file those additional charges, it's called a violation of protective order. We put conditions on that and you violate it. We can have a hearing to hold you at no bond, zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in Harris County. You're telling me that you're in another place. I will give you a lawyer today and we'll see. If you have that document, great, put it up. Let's see. I'll give you, I already have an application on file. I'm gonna give you a lawyer today. Let's see what you have. But as it stands now, I don't want you to have any contact with this person. I don't want you to be in possession of weapons and not to go within 1,000 feet of where she lives, where she works. And I'm gonna put a monitor so I know where you are at all times. If you want to go to Atlanta, great. There's no problem with that. I'm not going to put any travel restrictions on you. Just don't go anywhere near where she lives or where she works. That's all I'm asking you to do. Don't pick up any new cases as well. You go to Atlanta, everything you do out in the free world, you need to be thinking, if I do this, am I going to go to jail? If I say this, what kind of ramifications is it going to have? Because it's your liberty that's at stake. All she's got to do is go, hey man, he's bothering me, and boom, you go down. Don't give any cause for that to happen. So for now, I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna find your lawyer, and then you tell your side to the lawyer, and then we'll go from there. He can always, or she can always reapproach, and we can talk about how to go forward. All right? Please, counsel. I'm making it a condition of your bond that you're not to use anything. And I'm going to test you again in 40 days. If I find that you test positive again, it tells me that you've continued to use, and I'm going to put you in jail, and I will not give you any more PR bonds. Do you understand? No more using. Don't pick up any new cases. And I think that I've taken away his privilege to drive as well, right? Yeah, because it's his third or second racing case. Yeah. Okay. You're on notice now. No more violations. And if you fail to go to another UA, likewise, I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? Okay. We'll set your case off 40 days. Okay. Thanks, counsel. Okay, you ready? Good morning, Ms. Treadwell. How's jail? Your lawyers come up to me and ask for me to reduce your bond. I've got your bond at a very high rate, $50,000 for a reason. I want you to understand that we mean business. It's not a joke. When you're out there and you're driving in a state that can very well, you may do something that can cause catastrophic damage and you'll never dig yourself out of a hole. I will reduce your bond. They asked me for 5, I'll do 7,500 each. But I'm telling you, if you do get out, no more issues. I want you on the curfews and I don't want you out in the middle of the night. And I definitely don't want you driving. Do you understand? You're going to have to find another way to make it work, but not in a car. I just can't trust you. You have a lot of people that depend on you, 2 children that depend on you, right? When you're not there, they're going to look to love and support from somewhere. And if you're not there, they may look to it at places you don't like or you don't approve of. These are things that you need to consider. When you become a mother, your life's not yours anymore. It's your children's lives. That's who matters. So when you're out there considering doing what you're going to do, the only thing that needs to come in your mind, if I do this, how is it going to impact my kids? That's what you need to be thinking about. Do you understand, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll make it 7,500 each, okay? And then if you're able to bond out, you must come here immediately so we can do all the bond conditions, do all the paperwork, because I'm putting an ankle monitor on you, so I know where you are. And I'm on your other ankle, I'm gonna put a scram, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. And I'm gonna tell you now, you bond violate, you consume alcohol again, you pick up a new case, holy, I'm gonna go nuts on the bond. Do you understand? Okay, Mr. Treadwell, good luck. Okay, guys. Thanks. Apellido. Jimenez. Caramillo Jimenez? You were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
October 28th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it operate without all of its lighting equipment activated during the nighttime. Upon contact with the defendant, who is the driver and sole occupant, officers observed the suspect to have slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, and an odor of alcoholic beverage. Defendant admitted to drinking 2 alcoholic beverages about 1 to 2 hours prior. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 HGM, 7 out of 8 walk and turn, 2 out of 4 one-leg stand. DICs were read, but breath was refused, and a search warrant was signed and executed. The defendant does also not have an eligible driver's license, Judge.
Again, we have to go on an offense writing report, just class. I mean, it's completely conclusory. Read me the first sentence. Why the PC for the stop?
Read from the DIMS really quickly, Judge. I just want to make sure it's correct.
Without all of its nighttime equipment on. What on earth does that mean?
See if we can read it from the, if we have the offense report, Judge, because that's what
It's
it's DIMS.
over and over and over and over. I mean, headlights, brake lights, turn lights.
I'm just seeing in the offense report, Judge, that driving without lights activated during nighttime.
Better. So you're saying he was driving at night without headlights? Is that?
That's what I believe this offense report is stating. It doesn't specify which lights, unfortunately.
I mean,
Would you like us to call Officer Judge to clarify?
yeah, I guess I'll give you a bit of time for, just toma asiento allá, por favor.
The next Spanish word is
Chief was just looking at the body cam, at the dash cam, and he has no lights on, headlights or tail lights.
No taillights, Joe. All the taillights are completely gone.
So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On October 27th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle on the Tomball Tollway after observing it swerving within its lane, unintentionally drift into the lanes beside it, and nearly strike another vehicle on the roadway. The vehicle also failed to signal a lane change. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed the defendant to have slurred speech, glossy eyes, and a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to driving and to drinking 2 large beers, one of which was found on the back passenger floorboard, a quarter of the way full, and still cool to the touch.
So drinking while driving?
And standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The breath samples were 0.089 and 0.091.
Mr. Ponce, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. You're in this country with or without permission?
Without permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
Nada.
Nothing?
No, sí, no tengo permiso.
No, I don't have any permission.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Without permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
I'm illegal. I can't do anything.
What? happens if you go to jail, Mr. Ponce?
I'm outside of the law, I can't do anything about it.
I don't know what kind of answer that is, Mr. Ponce. But I would hope that you would recognize that it's damn elementary that you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. And I'm telling you now, that is a minimum of 5 days in jail. 5 days in jail that you go to as a minimum to any sentence you get on a DWI. And I will tell you that if you do anything more than 4 hours in a jail cell, immigration sweeps it on a daily basis. And if they find you, they will put an immigration detainer on you, and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until the case is over with, and then you get shoved off to immigration, where you were sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do what they're going to do. That is what happens when you violate the law and you go to jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
I am warning you at this moment not to drive at all for any reason. And you will be signing a promise with me. This is the only warning that you will get, Mr. Ponce. And this is an affidavit. If I find that you violate this, you can look forward to up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive, because I can have a contempt hearing. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If you consume alcohol, likewise, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. The only reason you got out so quick is we gave you a PR bond. You violate conditions, pick up a new case, it will not happen again. Do you understand?
Yes.
What happens if you go to jail?
I don't know.
Did you not hear anything that I just told you? I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, we will get you to sign for your bond conditions. We will get you out of here. When you come back, have a lawyer, Mr. Ponce. Lori, you were here first.
Spanish, please, Your Honor.
Okay, come on.
Domingo Martinez, Your Honor. Page 17.
Él va a traducir todo, ¿ok? Hable solamente en español.
Martinez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail. Credit for the 2 days that you've done. Understand that this DWI will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. If you are ever in a car, the first thing an officer does when they pull you over is they will look at your history. If they find that you have a prior DWI and they smell alcohol on your breath, what do you think they're going to do to you?
Arrest me?
Correct. What we're doing today, from now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. So if you are not smart enough to consider how to get home on a night of drinking, like a little child, we will treat you like a little child, but we will do it by putting you over our knee, spanking you like a little child, and doing it with a minimum of 30 days in jail. So consider your actions, especially if you're not in this country with permission, because it could cost you big. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no coming back from it. You can never change this once you plead guilty. Do you understand?
Yes.
How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will send you to the agreement. I am going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license, Mr. Martinez.
You think, Your Honor. Number one, since the case is ending today, he does have a scram device. Can we get the removal order?
Yes.
Okay. Second, Judge, can we run his court cost concurrent and waive the statutory fine? He is a painter. He essentially works for himself. The projects that he gets are not very consistent.
How much money do you make a month, Mr. Martinez? Do you support anyone?
¿Apoya a alguien?
Casa.
In my house, yes.
What your lawyer is asking me to do is to take off and waive around $3,500 worth of fines and fees. And I want you to understand that I will today. But the next time, if there's a next time and you come back, you can look forward to around $7,000 in fines and fees that you will incur. So if you pick up another DWI, it is really going to go bad for you. So consider when you're out there, if you want to drink, just don't get into a car and drive. Because next time, if there is one, it will really cost you big. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck.
That's right.
You want to say Mr. White?
Brock White.
Thank you.
Hey, bud. Happy Monday. You just want to reason.
He's got some documents he needs to provide for our office.
Is your client here? Say it again.
He said he believes he's in the audience.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna bring him up. Hold on, Brock.
Ariel, he does have 3 misdemeanors in Comal County and a felony. But then they're offering him T-Rex. That, he just wants to do his time.
I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, Lori. As much as I love you, we've
But he has
been down
these
this
other
road.
cases
I get it. I understand, but I'm not gonna just let him time serve it. I'm not doing it.
for 180 days.
Here's my issue, Judge. So I read the TRS report. He's lying in the TRS. I mean, he's telling the clinician that has no drug issues, he's got like 6 possession cases. He said he messed around with weed once when he was 18, but the concern that I'm having is if he can't even be honest on the TRS, I don't know, and he refused to do SATF before.
He did it, and he did it great, but he did it. He completed it.
Completed, okay.
Yes.
I was told he refused SATF, okay.
No.
Oh,
He did
okay.
it. He completed it. And I told him that I was gonna keep doing it. I'm not letting him go. We're gonna have to get him back to Como County so he
He
can,
almost has enough credit on the one that Greg is on. It's 161 days. Can he go ahead and be done with that?
one he's on probation. Why?
He has 2 that he's on probation.
Did you reach out to Como County?
And they said the felony has not been filed yet, so they're still gonna file it. And he's got 3
So
pending
then that's no
misdemeanors.
hold. What about,
He said he's got 3 pending misdemeanors. They don't know any status of what they are. Because it was a receptionist. They couldn't get us to a prosecutor. They said they don't know what the charges are. They don't know what the bonds are. They don't know anything. They just know they've got 3 pending misdemeanors and 1 felony it's pre-filing at this point. They're gonna file it. That's all we got.
is there a hold?
No,
If there's no hold, then let's send him back to SATF. If there's no hold,
let him go and do this and be done and go. If you can get him again, if he comes back.
we've done that.
This is
We've
not
done that.
working for him. This going to Saturday is not working for him.
And this is what I see, Judge. I don't see there was a hold. I see the hold in Como County was lifted 5/16. So I believe you're correct. There's no hold. So it's
Just
just,
let him out.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen is he's not gonna go to Como County. He's gonna come back here with a new case.
Can you
2
start
weeks,
all
he's gonna
over
come
in
back
Saturday?
with a new case. Why? Why? Why delay the inevitable? Because I'm telling you, every time I'm done with catch and release, I'm not gonna do it because I've done it 30 times already. I'm up to here with the catch and release.
But what about the one that he has?
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I see your position and I understand it. The only thing I want is I want to get him back to the facility. Let's try it. And if they won't, then we'll go your way.
Okay.
At least let's try it because there's no hold. Usually they won't do it because there's a felony case, there's a hold of some kind and the hold won't release. But here, there's nothing holding.
All right, I'll go talk to him.
Will. Something in my eye. Hi, bud. What's up?
Compton.
Compton. Okay. In
What is
custody or on
bond?
bond?
What's that?
Bond or
Oh,
custody?
sorry, Bond.
4, just a normal reset? Yeah, we're good.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Brock, hold on, Brock.
December 10th through the 12th.
December 10th to the 12th.
Your Honor, did you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Either the 10th or the 12th, Your Honor.
12.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay, have fun, bud. That way.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thanks, Brock. Ready? Every single time he comes back, it's gonna be the same
May
thing.
not come back. He has been through this with you for a while. And he understands that you have control over his life. And that if he comes back, you will continue to have control over his life. He's just wants to get out to take care of his children. He's been in custody for a while now.